Hey everybody, Luke here again, and this is a follow-up video to the one I just made just a few minutes ago, but I'll probably put it out in a week or so. But I just talked to you about losing weight and its effect on back pain and whether or not losing weight would have a positive influence on someone's back pain. And it was kind of a two-part answer where I said no, it won't, because of, the weight probably isn't the actual cause of the back pain. But on the other hand, if the person loses weight in a good way and lowers the inflammatory part of their diet, it could be a good thing. So just as a follow-up to that, I wanted to give you a little story this week, and it's a really interesting one, in my opinion, and it's about a lady I was working with in the pool primarily because she had a really hard time exercising on land. And one of the big reasons that she came in is because she needs a total knee replacement. Her knee is pretty much bone on bone. It's shot. There's no more cartilage. She needs a total knee replacement, but she's too heavy to get one. So, she's well above the doctor's comfort range. I imagine she would probably have to lose somewhere between 50 and 100 pounds to get to them. They have a BMI they like to get you to. I think it's 30. So anyway, she's well above that. And so what she ends up wanting to do then is a gastric bypass surgery. And I'm not sure if you've ever known someone who's gone through this or if you've gone through it yourself, but there's quite a few hoops you have to jump through to get a gastric bypass surgery. It's not really as if she just can show up and say, hey, yes, obviously I'm very heavy and I have a lot of weight to lose and it would have some good impacts on my health if I could lose this weight quickly. Sign me up for the surgery. They make you go through all sorts of counseling and education, and all in all, I want to say it's taken her about 6 months just to get the surgery approved. So she's going through all the hoops. She's coming in for aquatic therapy because she can actually tolerate exercising on land. She can only be on her feet probably for 2 or 3 minutes at a time before pain in her back, knees, hips, everything just starts to get to her, and it's not a pleasant situation. So she's coming into the pool. She's doing well, so I get to keep talking with her as she's jumping through the hoops. And towards the end, with the last 4 to 6 weeks, they have to go on a specific diet before they can have the surgery. And I think the reason they're going on to this diet is because they want to start like shrinking the stomach down in preparation for the surgery. So basically the diet is almost pretty much what I've been gently kind of talking to her about the whole time, which is basically it's more of a liquid diet at this point because again they're shrinking the stomach, but they end up doing really high protein and really low carbs. So if you've heard me again kind of rant and rave about diet before, I'm a big fan of going higher fat, higher protein, lots of vegetables, and driving down your carbs and your sugars as low as possible. So now, right before her surgery, they're basically making her do this in order to get the surgery. And again, I think they're doing more the stomach shrinking and things like that. They're going low fat, which to me, you don't need to do low fat, you just need to do high quality fat. But again, they've got some other things that they're focused on. But anyways, so the patient's doing this, and I believe it's about 6 weeks she's on this diet, and very little solid food, all these liquid foods, again, low sugar, high protein. And what happens is she ends up losing 30 pounds in about a month. And I'm like, whoa, you just lost 30 pounds. And you're still consuming food, not again a lot of solids, but you're still consuming regular old calories and stuff like that. And so she lost like 30 pounds, but the big thing for her is that all of a sudden, all of her joints feel better. So her knees feel better, her hips feel better, her back feels better. She hasn't felt this good in a long time. So what's the moral of the story here? And now obviously she's too late in the game probably to switch off and not do the surgery. But in my mind, from an external perspective, I'm kind of thinking, wow, you just figured out that there is a way for you to lose weight fairly quickly and feel better without having this surgery. And again, it's kind of the things I was gently proposing to her along the way, but I'm careful with my opinions because not everyone asks for it, and I know how that goes, and you have to be careful with what you say to people. But it's kind of what I've been hoping she would do the whole time, is say, look, go high protein, go high fat, go super low carb, and just see how it goes. Because in my perspective is that if you can avoid the gastric bypass surgery, that's a good thing in and of itself. And the second thing I'm thinking for her, if you've known someone who's done this surgery, is that after the surgery, your stomach is like this big. You're on a liquid diet for I think 6 or 8 weeks. Then you start slowly reintroducing solid foods, and you can only have like 2 or 3 bites of food the rest of your life until, of course, a year or two when you end up stretching your stomach out again. So again, to me, it was like, well, gosh, if you can avoid that whole unpleasant process, it's a major surgery which carries its own inherent risks. Afterwards, you're not going to enjoy food the way you used to enjoy food. Why not just figure out how you can still eat food, but do it in a way that allows you to lose weight? And the big, huge bonus to me was that your joints are all feeling better. So that's just the story, I guess, of the day, and I think there's a couple good points to take home from that. So if you're struggling with weight loss and pain associated with it, you've got things like this lady does where your joints are kind of breaking down from the weight and from the inflammation. Really, that was the big eye-opener for me, is how much of this pain of hers was the weight and the actual physical degeneration in her joints, loss of cartilage, arthritis, osteoarthritis, whatever you want to call it. How much of her pain was really associated with those structural changes versus how much pain was really the result of inflammation associated with eating the wrong food. So that was the big point for me, and kind of a point I was trying to get to her early on. And now she's going to do the surgery, and hopefully she'll lose a lot of weight. I'm sure she will, and she'll feel good. But again, in my mind, if it could have been avoided and you could have just ate real food the rest of your life and just, created some better habits, it would have been preferable. So that's my story. I hope it reaches out to one or two of you people out there and helps you just have some more perspective. Again, it's not easy. I'm not trying to tell anyone that, but there could be some really big benefits to it if you decide to do that approach. At the end of the day, if it doesn't work for you, there is stuff like gastric bypass surgery. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment if you have anything to share, or if you have questions or personal experiences. I'd love to hear it. So again, thanks, and I'll talk to you again soon.